All right, you guys, I have another fun, colorful episode for you guys at Studio Creative Kids. So today's episode, we're going to need some strips of construction paper. You can use whatever colors you want. We're going to need our paint pens or markers handy just in case you want to add little additions to your piece of art. They're not necessary, but it's always fun to have extra around. I have a 8x8 watercolor pad here. We're going to use one sheet of that. And then I have an extra smaller piece of watercolor paper to use for our lion's face that we're going to do. And just a little circle piece to trace his face out. We have our pencil, our Sharpie, our pen. We have scissors, glue, and a little set of watercolors. All right, you guys, let's get started. Okay, so what we're going to do here first, what we're going to do is we're going to take our little wood round in our pencil and we're going to trace a circle. Okay. So in that circle, what we're going to do is we're going to draw a line for his nose. Let's start that over. We're going to draw a line for his nose in a V shape that goes underneath. Then we're going to come down, do a J shape, another J shape. In there we can draw little spots near his whiskers and 3 whiskers on either side. And for his eyes, we're going to keep it really simple. We're just going to do a little half circle shape. If you want to, you can draw little eyelashes. We're just going to keep him as a little peaceful lion. I'm going to just curve the edges of his nose just a little bit. So that's what we're going to do there. For this sheet of paper, and we'll keep that one handy, for this sheet of paper, what we're going to do is you can paint any kind of design. It's just going to be our background of our lion. So what we're going to do, move some of these things aside. I'm going to take our watercolors. I'm going to get some of my orange color. I'm going to go around and paint my lion's face. Might even get a little bit of my yellow. And just add a little pop of color around his face too. Or her face. Be a boy or a girl lion, however you want to do it. Maybe a little pink color around the cheeks. While that sets and dries, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through and I'm just going to watercolor my other sheet of paper. Any kind of design that you want to have. I'm going to try to make it colorful. Lots of different color pieces of paper over here. Just whatever design you can imagine. Just make it in your piece of art. So what we're going to do, once you're done with your piece of art, you let it start. Oops, this one's supposed to be green. You let it dry. I'm going to set that aside while those two are drying. We can pick our papers that we want our lines made. So I'm going to pick some yellows. I want to do some oranges. Maybe even a few red pieces. Some whites. So you can decide what colors you want to do. These are just scrap pieces of paper that we've used for different projects in the studio that I had extra of, so this works out perfect today. It's nice to save some of your art supplies so then you can really get it together. And maybe I'll do a few of these pale color greens. We want our lion to be really colorful. I kind of like taking things from real life that wouldn't be a certain color and giving them a little pop of color. All right, you guys, so we have our papers picked out. I'm gonna set that aside. And then what we're gonna do is I'm gonna cut these in half. They don't all have to be perfectly the same length. I'm just gonna cut these in half. Set them aside for when our paper is dry and ready to go. All right, so let's see if our pages are dry and we'll be right back. All right, you guys, so now that our watercolor is dry, we can take our paint pens, our markers. Add some little extra designs to it. This is just our background. Take our Sharpie. And we'll just outline our design. So fun. Okay, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna get our little lion here. Like a little spot in the nose, make it look like a little highlight, and we're just gonna color this part in. Okay, go ahead and trace on the outside of our lion. And what we'll do is we will cut him out. And remember, you don't have to cut right on the black line. You can kind of give it some space around there, and that's what we want to do. Especially around the whiskers, because you want them to be able to really be seen. So you can see how I'm not cutting directly on the line, just giving it some space all the way around. Just like that. Okay, now's the fun part. If you're not already having fun already. Okay, we're gonna get our Elmer's glue. And you can see kind of where our line's gonna be in the middle of the page. We can even, in the middle of our page, draw a little circle. Kind of where our lion's head is gonna be. That will help us know where we're gonna glue our pieces. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my paper and just kind of bend it a little bit, crinkle it just a little bit. And we can take our Elmer's glue and do a line all around that circle. And we can start gluing our little lion's mane all the way around. It's going to be a colorful piece of art. And it's okay if they go off the page a little bit. We can trim it once we get done with our lion. You can trim the pieces, or you can let them hang off the edge however you see it and however you want to do it. It's your piece of art. You can go around again, some glue. Let's add some yellow. And with a lion's mane, you can make it as thick, you know, or as full as you want to. Totally up to you. And don't worry, you're going to get glue on your fingers. It's part of the process. You can also do this with air dry clay. If you're doing it in a classroom and you want to do like a two-part piece of art, you can use air dry clay and make the lion's faces out of air dry clay. We've done that this past week in the studio too, a few classes. I think I'm going to do one more round of yellow, and then I think I'm going to attach my lion's face after that. And this one here. Okay, so now when we want to attach our lion's face, I'm going to do one more little orange right there. What we're going to do is just do one more round of glue, and we are going to take our sweet little lion's face and we're going to glue them on. You can also adjust your lion's mane if you want to from there. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. How adorable is that? I love it because there's their own little piece of art underneath. I can't wait to see pictures. You guys have to tag me if you decide to make this sweet little lion's mane. All right, you guys, thank you for joining me again for another episode of Studio Creative Kids. I hope you really enjoy this one. And I'll see you guys on the next episode. Take care.